And if you're still laughing at the idea of IHRA making a comeback, you clearly did not make it to Ohio this weekend. Because for all the praise I just gave to the hospitality, leadership, and logistics, it doesn't mean a thing if the cars don't show up. If the product on the track isn't good, then all the ice and meal tickets in the world don't matter. Good news. The product was excellent. Top fuel, loud, brutal, fast, funny car, sharp, intense, competitive. And yeah, maybe old AJ talks too much about Nitro, but you know that's what I've been around forever. Scott Palmer won at Nitro, but he drives everything. I think he's licensed in more cars than Tony Stewart and Juan Montoya combined. The man who's practically the patron saint of outlaw drag racing. He came through with a 395 with an 8 at 314 mile an hour to win the first IHRA Top Fuel final of the new era. Krista Baldwin, who we absolutely adore, clearly no slouch herself, was right there in a side-by-side battle, a 412 at the line, down at 293 at the end of the run. They were side-by-side all the way down the track, and for a moment, the stands forgot everything else. It was old school, pure, and loud. I do see old Dave W's comment, no points this year. That's a fair point, okay? That is a fair point. Still not exhibition racing. These are real races that are part of this sport's legacy, lore, and history. But for clarification, Dave does bring a great point. By the way, Dave W., who I've had the great privilege of knowing in the last few years, I've never learned how to say his last name because he's Dave W., now involved in stat and record keeping, archiving, history, and supporting the broadcast at Speed Sport 1. That's Ralph Shaheen's deal. You can watch Speed Sport 1 and 2 on the internet. If it's drag racing coverage, you can follow them at IHRA.tv. And if you have a Roku or nearly any smart device, type in Speed Sport 1 and you will see the broadcast. Dave, very clearly a big part of the numbers game and fact-checking the rule books. He knows his shit. Glad you're here tonight, Dave. In regards to Palmer, he said it himself. He said, I've been driving like a beginner all weekend. But when it mattered, he stepped up. And he delivered. I asked him in post-race. See, Bobby Bennett's team, the Power Hour, welcomed me to promote Late Lap earlier this year and co-host an episode with the great Monday morning racer Lee Kraft and our guest, Scott Palmer. And he told me that night, this year, cover your ears, kids. I'm going to fucking have fun. I couldn't help but ask him formally, Scotty, are you fucking having fun? And he said, not only was he having fun, but this shit was real. Goodness, this show turned awfully adult, didn't it? Then you had Mike McIntyre Junior in the funny car, driving that beautiful orange Toyota Camry funny car. If you're a fan of match racing in Michigan and Indiana and Ohio, you've seen that orange beast. But it's been a couple years. Mike Sr. passed, and they haven't had that car out there. His first hit was qualifying here at National Trail. He talked about it, and he said, yeah, it's weird, but I'm glad I'm back. I said, as far as his career moments, rank it. He says, winning the funny car class at IHRA was the #1 accomplishment of his on-track career. He was a man that was on a mission.